right, welcome back to another edition of the Dirty Verdict podcast. I am one of your hosts, Peter Taff.
I am your other host, Bill Ogden, and Kyle Herbert is too cool to be with us tonight.
Kyle Herbert is in the middle of a trial. He was nice enough to sit in with our other interview with Todd Clement, who's kind enough to join us again in probably a non-speaking role, but a listening role.
The last time I've ever
We're going to test that theory. We have a guest host, though, and that is my colleague, Danielle Comeaux of Comeaux Mediation, who I work with every day.
Hello to your listeners.
Hi.
Thank you, Danielle. And then our featured spotlight guest is Nicole Perdue. I knew your man name.
Oh, yeah, that was very good.
I heard a rumor that you and Pete went to the same high school, but you were 10 years younger.
No, that's not true, but we did meet for the first time in high school.
Why were you talking to elementary school kids, Pete?
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Did that work out the way you thought it would?
No, Nicole and I first met at a trip that I went to Lamar High School. Where'd you go, Nicole?
Mount Carmel.
Yeah, and they had high school. It was called like Close Up, and you'd go up to D.C. and go to the Capitol and see all this stuff, and then they had a social event where we all met, and then we
didn't have that in Deer Park.
And then her and Nicole's husband, Jim, and I went to high school. Jim and I went to high school, college, and law school together.
Gotcha.
But you sang.
Yeah, that's right.
Why does every person
The Gambler, didn't you?
Poncho Lefty.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
every person I meet talks about your singing, Pete?
I did karaoke last Friday at Spotlight on West Time.
If only we had a mic right now.
We'll see. I need a few more cups of coffee before I do that. But Raspberry Beret was the song.
That's a great hit.
That's good.
But Prince came out on the Epstein log, so
Never mind.
separate the artist from the art. Yeah, he did, unfortunately.
Okay, so we're happy to have Nicole here because Nicole, among many other accomplishments in life, is now running for the 133rd District Court in Harris County. Primary elections are when, Nicole?
The primary election is March 5th, and early voting starts February 20th.
How many opponents do you have?
One.
Okay.
And one opponent.
And you're running in the Democratic primary.
Running in the Democratic primary. And so I have one opponent in the Democratic primary, and then
That's the real race.
it's
Yeah, if we're in Harris County.
It is, yes.
And is a Republican in the candidate on that side?
I think they filled the whole ballot.
Well, he's unopposed.
Yeah, but they have a Republican for each bench.
And he has been appointed to the bench twice and lost whenever he was up for election.
Who is this?
Michael Landrum, I think is his name.
Okay, well,
I know Landrum.
Yeah, no.
He's never been elected. He's only been appointed. Huh? Didn't know that.
Right, he ran once, but didn't get.
I remember it was like 2013-ish. Yeah.
Okay, so Nicole, I wanted to cover some of your background. In addition to meeting for the first time in high school, Nicole and I worked together. And was that your first firm at Gardner Wynn?
Oh, we worked there. You were.
I was so
incredibly anonymous.
so memorable.
Yeah, Pete. Hey,
My name is Peter Taft. Nice to meet you.
2 A's, 2 F's.
Yes, I was only there for 1 year.
Okay.
I was in the litigation section. I worked with Jeff Bracken, John Pearson, and
You did.
Jeff Davis.
That's right.
Yeah.
My apologies. You did.
I was there for 1 year.
Long enough to leave an impression.
Obviously, I was.
I was in a different section. I was in the labor and employment.
I don't even remember, Pete. When I leave these every other week,
He introduced himself to me and this morning.
every time I see him, I'm like, hey, you look like a winner.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know his name.
Yeah, so
Does he call you bro?
bra.
Or my dude.
Yeah.
Is another one he'll answer to.
Okay, so Nicole, A&M undergrad, and then law school.
South Texas.
Got it.
The South Texas College of Law. I put the on in Houston. That's the dumbest thing.
Wasted so much money in
The greatest
Houston at the end.
The greatest contest of all time was 2 law schools for no reason going at it with their alumni.
Right.
Loved it.
And then I worked for the First Court of Appeals for Mike Schneider.
Good.
Year.
Okay.
How good.
Oh, so you had good grades.
I did. I had excellent grades, actually.
That makes one of us here.
So Mike Schneider, he went on to be a federal judge, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
I was actually hired by Alice Oliver Parrott, and then she quit before I started.
I know multiple.
Wasn't it? No, to work with. She's amazing.
So I think every female attorney in the city of Houston that I've ever met has been mentored by Alice Parrott and has the same thing to say, which is how great she is. What's so great about her? I never met her.
What? So you should mediate with her.
Never.
Shining bright light of everything.
She's approachable, very approachable.
Approachable, intelligent,
Sounds like me.
Totally.
You lost me at compassionate.
Quit. She quit. There, you're brave. She has.
I'll never stop stopping.
So worked for Judge Schneider, and then went to what was then Sewell and Riggs.
No, I actually was at Winstead for 6 months.
Ugh.
Okay.
It was quick and dirty, but a lot had changed from when I accepted until when I started. But it was fun.
And then so then you got over to Gardner Wynn, Sewell and Riggs, and then how long were you there?
8 years,
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
and then left.
Great employment group.
really did.
All the fun people were in that group.
Would you say the Hells Angels?
Neil's.
Oh, Neil's Angels. I was about to say, like, what were y'all doing there?
Yes.
Yeah, Neil Martin was the head of that group. You did, yeah. And then so after 8 years, did you retire to raise kids, or
I had William, and I stayed home with him. But then I started practicing out of the house.
William is such a strong name.
You think? Yeah.
All leaders are named William. William the Lionheart, William the Great, William Cosby,
William?
William Clinton. I can go down the list. It never stops. Just leaders.
So another thing Nicole and I have in common, Nicole has a son who plays college football.
Really?
Or Brown?
For Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Ivy League football. That is a different caliber of football.
What? Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody in that league runs around knowing, hey, if we go to a certain level, we might get head injuries. They're smart enough for that.
They're protective about that.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Pete's son, on the other hand, is too athletic. He doesn't have the gear to slow down.
He's awesome.
He's so awesome. He messaged me a few times on Instagram. I'm very proud of that.
You have a tough schedule next year, by the way.
Welcome to the SEC.
Yes, very tough.
But we get A&M UT back, which I'm excited about. Pete, I'm relying on you to give me a ticket in the suite. You know which one I'm talking about. It's in College Station.
That's right. You would go in?
Good ones.
Yep.
Very nice ones.
I need to be with the other 11.
Since you were not mean to him on the...
He's got to love me. I was great with Tony.
Yeah.
I was like the mediator. Kyle went full TTLA against him. I did not.
Relationship with him.
Yeah, so we had...
Yes, well, a small one.
Yeah.
We've had Tony on a couple times pre-Paxton impeachment and then post.
Yeah, we somehow, Pete and I, and it's mostly Pete because I'm an idiot, got like the inside exclusive on the pre-impeachment interview with the lawyer, and it was the greatest thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I did the post one, just me for...
after he sat with Kyle and I, he was like, I'll do another one, but only with you, Pete.
Reasons that are evident if you watch the first
My
video.
feelings aren't hurt. I'm fine. I
feel like tension rising in that.
Oh, you could hear the tension in the tone of everyone's voices.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm usually as left as it gets. And I'm left. I mean, like, if you call me a Bernie voter, I'm like, I'm offended. But in that instance, Kyle came out super hot, and I was like, whoa. Whoa. Easy there, big guy. So I was...
And that one was by Zoom. So
Yeah, it was by...
you can't apparently punch someone through Zoom.
You can try.
But if that was possible, that would have happened. Okay, so you're practicing out of the house, and you're doing ad litem work, or what kind of stuff?
Ad litem and employment work. So a lot of what I did at Gardner was employment litigation. But I was introduced to a consulting company. A doctor friend of mine reached out one day and said, I have an employment manual, and do you know a Texas employment lawyer? It's like, well, that's me, right?
Felder.
Right, exactly. So I met with this consultant who provided him with kind of the base, and we got along so well that she started sending me all of her physician's office throughout the country.
On the plaintiff side?
Well, but remember when you're looking at employment manuals, you're drafting the manuals, just making sure that they comply with the state that they're in.
I love that you think that I've ever looked at one of those. I'm not smart enough to look through an employment manual.
I mean, that could be, that's what gets people in line.
I'm lowbrow litigation. I'm not winning an essay writing competition, but I can make people like me a little bit more, maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, anyone that ever sues his firm, please go back and pull this particular tape where he said he has never read it.
Right.
You know why?
Do you think he has an employment manual?
Absolutely not. Why? Because yes, and it says if you have less than 50 and you have an employment manual, you're setting a negligent standard. Why would we do that? And I say that, it sounds smart. It's probably not.
Unlike some
Thank you, sir.
That's okay, though. So that's how it started. And then I started doing ad litem work and then also the Planned Parenthood work.
Got it. Okay, so ad litem for the viewers at home. If there's a settlement with a minor involved, the court will appoint an ad litem to review it, and that's a guardian ad litem.
I think it's anybody incapacitated, right? Not just minor.
Yeah, true.
Right, but where people get confused a lot of times is with probate court guardianship and those ad litems, and those you need a certification for.
Correct.
It's completely different. So what I do is only on the civil law side, and they're typically minors, so they could be adults who are incapacitated, but generally it's minors.
We are comrades in that. I think we can say comrades.
That's right. You're a good ad litem.
I am. I'm a great ad litem. Not to my friends that I'm the ad litem in their cases for, because I do it the way if I don't think it's fair, I'll say it.
Yeah. So the point being that the judges say, look, I want to make sure there's someone I trust that's going to look out for the interests of this minor to make sure their interests are being taken care of. And so many judges in town appoint you to
A lot of them do. And I'm glad that they trust me. It takes a lot of time.
Who's your favorite judge? I do that to everybody. You don't have to answer.
Yeah.
You can, though. She would.
I
Don't.
I do like Bo Miller a lot. I like Judge Miller.
Bill Miller's great.
Yeah.
I actually, I don't have anything bad to say about any of the current Houston judges, Harris County judges,
Right.
that I'm going to say out loud.
Right.
okay, so that's what you do. That's what you've been doing for the last several years.
I do that. Yeah, actually, like 20 years I've done that. That along with my regular caseload. And I do some family law. I know.
What kind of family law?
Divorces.
You do divorces?
Do divorces.
So anytime anybody calls me with divorce or criminal, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not smart enough to argue about anything but money. Yeah. I'm not arguing about freedom or children.
You about in family court.
That's children. Children can get in there, and I'm like, I don't know. You guys are both terrible parents.
Do you get into the heavily contested ones or more the ones like, look, we're going to get a divorce. We know what we want to do. Let's.
Heavily contested.
Okay.
So if I need a bulldog,
Yes, that's me. And
so you heard it here first.
he loves it. He loves that I do it. And he thinks he's a shining star of a husband now.
Right. I was going to say, because if you're doing that, everybody's looking at him like he's doing it right. Otherwise, he would walk all over this divorce.
An incredible husband.
How long have you been married?
Who? Not a trick question.
25 years.
Congratulations.
I was going to say.
Quarter centennial?
Same ring along with his initials.
Why was there such a long pause?
We were from.
There was a long pause there. It's on. You just look there.
Well, you get it.
We're gonna do a recount.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I feel like y'all got married probably around the same time I did, which was 95.
95. I was 8.
7, I believe.
Okay, 97.
His 6. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm 36 and 90. I was born in 87, so 97 is 26. You're all about to be 26.
Yeah.
So we talked about Jim, ironically, before you arrived today. And I said him and Mark Lanier have this disease where they look 29 their whole lives.
That is true.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not fair.
He has a little bit of gray now.
I've got like a skin yarmulke going right now. I really do. I'm tall, so you can't really see it, but it's there. I'm losing it. It's going fast.
So aren't you of counsel with the Perdue and Kidd law firm?
Yes.
And so so you'll do the family law and the ad litem. Do you ever dip your toe in some of their civil litigations?
I do a lot of their brief writing and their when they're expert reports are challenged, I work on those.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Don Kid's not that smart. Don is a very good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I love Don to death. And but yeah, I did not know that.
I write a lot of their stuff.
Tammy's fantastic as well.
Love Tammy.
So I clerked for Ken Schaefer in law school, and Tammy was there. Ken was not nice to me. Tammy was very nice to me, so I love Tammy.
Tammy's great. Tammy's great. When they go to trial, I sit with them as appellate counsel because I do appeals.
What do you not do?
Yeah, right.
Criminal.
I was gonna say, but then I feel like there's a caveat. But I will do traffic tickets or something like that.
No, and it's funny. So many people call me about that. I got a call the other day, and they said my mother-in-law parked with, and her handicap sticker was, not valid. Can you help?
You got that look in your eye though, where you're like,
Help you. Let me see public service. Anyone with traffic tickets in the Houston area, if you would please call Kyle Herbert.
yes,
So that
he's
everyone.
Mount Rushmore of speeding tickets, and he will spend his own money to get you a not guilty.
Yeah, that's something.
He does them for free too. He does them for free. That's the craziest thing.
Pro bono Kyle.
I'm like, how do you make money? He's like, don't worry, money will figure it out.
Who is the car wreck? I mean,
For me, it's solo and solo because they have an agreement with lawyers that if you're a lawyer, they'll do it for free because they assume, especially on the personal injury side, somebody's getting a speeding ticket and they think you're going to refer it. So yeah, solo and solo does any lawyer, they'll do it for free.
okay.
You do any orders in another way.
Other than that, I don't know any other big car wreck. And the only reason I know that is because one, they've done one for me. And two, when I walked in, the solo lawyer went to the front and was like, all right, if you're here, stand up. And he read for 10 minutes down the list and had every person in the courtroom.
Were you wearing a suit like that?
Of course I was. I was in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And there was a JP there that wasn't a lawyer, so I had to make sure they knew.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Nicole, you
So let's not joke ourselves. JP's a friend of mine, not a good friend, but a very good friend. Hussein Hadi, he's a JP now, I believe. He lost? I thought he was a JP. Dang it. We need more lawyers as JPs.
He'd be a great JP.
JPs can sign search warrants, and that makes me uncomfortable because you don't have to be a lawyer to be a JP. And the Fourth Amendment is like the second. It's not what they're searching for; it's where they're searching for.
Oh, wow.
Ask the TSA.
Okay, so Nicole, 133rd, Jacqueline McFarland has been. She was probably one of the first when the switch happened when it became Democrat. She was probably the first in that first wave. Is that so? I'm
Sweet.
the first time.
She was the Obama 08 wave. I think that's what kind of started Harris County. Yeah.
Yes, but she's not one of the first Democrats.
Well, I mean, in the recent
Yes.
vintage.
But what has come out through this campaign is very interesting about the 133rd. Mark Davidson, Judge Davidson, he does the history for all the courts. And so the 133rd was established in 1939. And in
You did your research. That's impressive.
No, it's really significant because in 1949, the governor appointed the first Catholic to the bench in Harris County. And there was an agreement that it would be the only Catholic ever appointed to the district court bench.
In the state?
Yes. But clearly right, he was a token Catholic at that point.
And look at us now. We got a Catholic president.
Right.
He's kind of ostracized for the abortion views.
But then in 85, when Judge Hittner was appointed to the federal bench.
Bottle service, Dave?
No comment.
Don't worry, I never have to practice this court again. I've got a transcript.
Matthew Plummer, Judge Plummer, was the first African-American lawyer appointed to the bench, district court bench in Harris County.
When?
In 1985.
Right, when the civil rights movement was happening.
Well, and he was actually part of the litigation of the courthouse cafeteria because he was kicked out of the cafeteria. He couldn't eat in the whites-only cafeteria.
When?
No.
I was going to say, this has got to be back in the late 60s.
Too far before that because he was one of the first investigators appointed by the Harris County, in the Harris County DA's office. And so that is when he was kicked out.
Is this like in the 80s?
Well, and he was appointed shortly after that. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I don't read that one. It's,
I was born in 1987, so technically a Reagan baby, but not really. In the 1980s, an African American was kicked out of the Harris County cafeteria.
that. It was before the 80s.
Even the 70s.
Went to law school after that, but there wasn't a whites only sign. And that was,
It was an unofficial.
yes, exactly.
Wait, Pete, you're by far the oldest one here. Did you remember those signs?
No, there was no sign. Nicole said it was an unofficial rule, like that. Yeah.
Not time to chime in.
Right. So that was so.
I'm just kidding.
85 was when Bill Clements and Mark White kind of interchanged. Was he a Mark White appointee or a Bill?
He was a Mark White appointee.
Got it.
So it's fascinating, the history.
That's crazy.
If you ever get a chance to visit with Judge Davison about it, he knows so much and he loves to talk about it.
Judge Davison is my third favorite mediator.
Thank you. Lamar McCorkle, he was on that court for a long time. Okay.
And that is the fun.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That hit our old
It's a lot of Irish.
So she's had a great run and she's retiring. And so how did this come about where you said, hey, I want to throw my hat in the ring on this one?
I was actually approached. I was approached to for a probate associate judge position because there's a new probate court number 5 in Harris County, and the judge that was appointed to that bench asked if I was interested in that position, and for various reasons it just wasn't the right fit for me. But I was telling other judges, sitting district court judges, about it, and then they called and said we'd like you to run for this bench.
Who called you? Dox him. George Soros? Was it Soros?
No, it wasn't. But I've been approached in the past throughout the years, but it just wasn't the right time. But this worked out great.
Awesome.
This is the first time you've run for office?
Yes. Yes.
Are you nervous?
So
No.
I'd be nervous.
What surprises you the most about it?
How much I have to talk about.
Justice.
That is true.
Seventh Amendment.
But about matters that are completely irrelevant.
Evictions.
There's no bail.
Oh. Wait, what?
To know my position on bail.
133 is a civil job, right?
Exactly. That's my point.
Who's bail you?
Exactly. And of course, I'm stay up to speed on current events and issues in Harris County, but
Where bail's a problem. It's an issue, not a problem. It's an issue.
an issue in the 133rd.
Agreed.
And
But what's your position? I was kidding.
right.
we had Kelly Johnson on, judge of I think the 180.
Big Johnson, yeah. Judge Big Johnson. That's how she
Kelly
introduced herself to me.
Judge Johnson talked.
She was awesome.
about the bail thing and educated us because of course we don't.
She was far more. She did not go the way that I thought she would on that. She was awesome about it.
Fail the problem.
Non-reconnaissance bail is kind of a problem too.
Yeah.
Okay, so aside from being asked questions that don't relate to the civil,
I got a lot of them.
civil
Favorite band.
civil jurisdiction, what other things have been kind of surprising to you, or good, or fun, or happily surprising?
I'll tell you what I have enjoyed about it. I've met so many people that I would not have met but for running for this race.
You're welcome.
Right? But it really is. It's amazing how many people are involved in the political process and all these small democratic organizations, and they're very active.
The treasurer, though, is the most important one for each campaign. They're the ones that keep you out of campaign finance violations.
Me,
Who's your campain treasurer?
Brad Hoover.
John?
Yes,
John?
Brad Hoover. But that's kind of an honorary role in terms of, but yes,
You say that, but there's been judges in Harris County that have had issues with it.
well, that's right. But I do have a good compliance person.
That used to be just the treasurer. Now we've subcategoried.
Aaron Meyer, Lily Schechter is who I hired.
How did you find people to hire for that?
That's what they do.
Asking for a friend.
That's
So
what
him.
they do.
So you mentioned Lily Schechter.
Yes.
How is she advising you?
Well, she's my campaign manager.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Yes. And Eric works with her, and he does the compliance portion of it.
What's your position on whether or not the dirty verdict throws you a fundraiser? Because we've thrown a couple. We're actually Englehart is in the mix right now. We're scheduling it now.
Oh, Okay, good.
Literally, the dirty verdict is throwing that.
I think you should do that.
I'm
Done.
I'm pro that.
Well, unless Peter vetoes it.
Must have known.
Peter vetoes everything, all of my ideas, helmet cams, trips to Mexico. He's like, no, that's not in the budget. So it's up to Peter, but I would love to.
You should do that.
Yeah.
And you have
We do lunches, not happy hours. They're shorter.
Yes.
Coffee talk.
No, I'm glad we'll do coffee talk.
Yeah.
It's all whatever.
Yeah.
a feature order.
Yeah, it's very southy.
Okay, and then Danielle, did you have any questions? We want to.
First of all, let's get to know Danielle a little bit.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Well, that's a little.
We are from Danielle, Dallas. Really?
Ugh. I thought that's what that smell was. I thought it was New Jersey, but no, it's Dallas.
Todd had its take on all the Dallas hate. Burn.
Yeah, it is.
Mike know where I live, but maybe not you.
Oh, well, I think I've crossed the line where I've now been in Houston longer than I was ever in Dallas.
Well, there's an easy test. True or false, you lease a 3 Series BMW.
I do.
Welcome to Houston.
I do. All of that I'll say it is a family.
We got, Houston's got a lot of those. We got a lot of those, all right? We also have, the major crime problem that's greater than Dallas's, but still, I digress.
I mean, is it?
I don't know. I don't see the Dallas news, but the Houston news is,
So much about Dallas.
it's what I don't know.
Really wants to be one.
Why? Because I couldn't get into any law schools there. None of them were. I got waitlisted at Wesleyan, and I was offended. I was in at U of H, and I was like, I called them. I was like, is there a problem? And they were like, every year's competitive. I was like, take me off your damn wait list.
The Flyers.
And that is where it starts from. It is, the Rangers came after the fact.
You're saying that this guy would build a wing for them?
I purposely, at the South Texas College of Law, where I was a faculty member for 7 years at Houston. Thank you. Now it's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
I purposely got C grades because I read Joe Jamel's book. I'm like, I want to be that guy. Better get bad grades. And this was on purpose.
Do you have a link to my fundraising app?
I don't, but all those watching on YouTube right now, it's on the bottom right now. Click on it. Donate.
South Texas College of Law and
The
Center-
South Texas College of Law, Houston,
whatever the term is that was negotiated through litigation.
through the alumni.
South Texas law grads, you need to support Nicole Perdue.
100%.
They do.
Why? Because we have more trophies than every other law school in the top 5 trophies combined.
I will.
I was too. I've coached a couple of national championship teams.
Yes.
I asked one question.
Yes, sir.
So why do you want to be a Harris County district judge?
It's a good question. Look at her face.
Just look at like maybe that's a trick question.
She's like, I had to answer for everything but that one.
In 30 minutes, I'll be good at it. Actually,
Yes, that's a great answer. Say that answer.
it's the truth.
Yes, she'd be great at
I'll
it.
be good at it. It's time.
We need more good lawyers to be judges.
It's time for me to give back. In all seriousness, I think that the legal community has done a lot for me, and it's time for me to give back. And I think that currently we need more judges who will move their docket along, and we need more judges who have actually practiced.
The Barack Obama of the Harris County judicial races. Right there.
Well,
Look at that. Great answer.
Nicole, we talked with Todd a lot about TTLA, which is, and kind of the whole concept of giving back. I mean, your family has been very, starting, with your husband and your father-in-law have been kind of pillars of the legal community. Is that part of kind of what goes into it, like the Perdue family giving back to the legal community?
Well, that's part of it. I mean, because I get support from them, but I did that. My
Go ahead.
He was just moving the water.
No, it's okay. I was to say I've always, long before I met Jim, felt like it was important to give back to the community in whatever way I had the ability to do so. And that's one of the reasons why we connected so well, is because that's something that we both hold dear, is giving back. But with respect to Jim and his youngness, I will say that when he was president of TTLA, he did get some grade from that giving back. That did age him.
You can say that, but
It was a hard year.
you can.
A hard year.
I'm still gonna tell everybody you married a child.
That's it. It seems like it. But, I will say that with all the work that he's done with TTLA and, lawyers like to brag a lot about how much they win.
What?
How to
No, nobody hears the 2023 National Trial Lawyer of the Year.
right? But with everything that I've done, particularly with Planned Parenthood, I've not been a winner.
What have you done? You mentioned that earlier, kind of in passing, and I wanted to go back to that. What have you done for Planned Parenthood?
So I was on the board of Planned Parenthood Gulf Coast for many years.
Okay.
Here in Houston, and we govern all of Louisiana as well. We don't encompass Dallas. That is the only place Planned Parenthood Gulf Coast does not cover.
Todd? You're looking at it. You're looking at it. That's the reason.
But once I rolled off the board, I became part of the legal briefing team for Planned Parenthood Federation, which is the national Planned Parenthood. And so the team and I, we draft briefs for any Planned Parenthood case, clinic, or any other organization.
Amicus.
Well, actually, sometimes we're actually on the briefing team with the parties.
Oh.
Like with the abortion drive, we did that. And so I'll have to say, I have to admit that we haven't been successful. I mean, that's, as a lawyer, I can say, well, I've won.
You were successful for a while.
We were successful for a while, but I think nonetheless, it's been incredibly meaningful in terms of what we're fighting for. Because it's not about abortion. It's about privacy rights and,
It's a constitutional argument.
I mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
And so that has been significant to me and giving back. So
Is it so? With your work, was it more geared towards the United States Constitution or the Texas Constitution, or both?
both.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know what the Texas Constitution says about abortion. Well, I do now, kind of. I guess I don't know if that's in the Constitution or just case law
Well,
It would take a long time.
or just
at
legislation.
the end of the day, women just don't have rights.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Took the words right. You just mansplained that to me.
Right.
Yeah, that went full circle. You didn't see that one coming.
What's it called when you get a
Your thing, like I could be a devil.
Woman, but you can't say womansplaining because that's offensive, Pete.
you got to reverse mansplain.
Yeah, reverse mansplain. I like that. It felt great. I'm in a great mood.
And so I guess I've got one final question that may or may not make the edit. If you've got a yappy
Oh boy.
lawyer like Suma,
36, tall, kind of Cherokee Indian looking.
be able to control me better than you do your own yappy little lapdog.
I had you to say husband. The good thing is I just let it roll off my sleeve.
Good, because I will say right now, we've never met before. You're giving me vibes that I would be terrified. Even in today's world, if you're on the bench and I walked in, I'd be pretty scared.
Bill, let me.
Oh, just the opposite.
No, I get it. Still scared. The fact that you're encouraging me to be okay,
Bill, your worse. Your feelings, I'll validate.
100%. I get it. I've seen it.
You're right.
You've got a mean side to you, but you call it stern or like, oh no, I'm just direct. Yeah, I see it.
How many boys y'all have?
3.
Yeah.
Oh, you got 3 boys. Oh, never mind. That's fine. I get it now. Because we're simpletons. We need direct, mean messages,
True.
and those come through the quickest and the easiest, and we learn from them quickly.
That is true.
Are all of your sons terrified of you?
I don't think any of them are.
I'm still terrified of my mom.
They would never show it. They're smarter than that.
No, we show it, but only when we get together and you're not around.
Okay.
Really. It's like a trauma group. It's like for PTSD, not for soldiers, for sons.
So,
My children are in a trauma room.
100%. We are.
so Nicole, for someone who's thinking about running for judge, so you sent the email out. I think it was like January 1. I remember I was in New Orleans and I popped up on.
Yeah, it's like late December or January.
Yeah. So from that point, what does it entail? Like, what's to run an effective campaign? What do you need to be doing day to day?
Unfortunately, it takes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It does.
How much? How much do you need? We'll raise it. We've got a huge listening base, and Todd's got a lot of money.
I think close to 200 for primary.
200 million?
Yes, 1,000.
I'm on it.
So it takes a lot more money than you would think because digital ads now are significant because we
Is that more than the yard sign? I've always wondered that.
Yard signs are important only for name recognition because you have to remember judicial races are low information races. Most people don't know anything about the judges. They just, if you vote, because now that we don't have straight party voting, you have to go down the list and you just, whose name do you recognize as you get that one night? Being a woman will get you 1 or 2 points. So my opponent is also a woman.
What's her last
I'm
name?
not saying it.
Yeah.
But
Mouth it.
I will say no. I will say this, that you also get points for being first on the ballot over your opponent.
Is it alphabetical? I always thought it was alphabetical.
No, they draw.
Oh, draw.
I'm number 1, baby.
Yeah, you are.
Number 1.
You heard it here first.
She drew number 2 before, so I was happy. So they invited me up, and they're like, "You get to draw." I was like,
But she took, right? If I'd already done so, why have this so that is a real problem?
So say we got a guy like, I'm just going to throw a name out there, Todd Clement, right? And he wants to start a super PAC just for the 133rd race, and he wants to run smear campaigns. What kind of ammo should he be looking for?
I would say, looking at the voting record of someone's opponent, that is
You're not even writing it down.
Well, yeah, you can see who's voting.
That's how you become a Todd.
Right. Right. They're over talking us. You probably voted in the Democratic primary like every time.
every time except for 2014.
Yeah.
Why?
That is the only time I did not vote in a Democratic primary.
Did you like abstain out of solidarity for something?
Well, Sharon McCauley was running for Texas Supreme Court, and I think she's a good judge, and she was on the Republican side. Dan Patrick was running against David Dewhurst, and so I wanted to do anything I could to make.
I've done that too. I actually did that when Trump was running. I registered as Republican for that 1 year.
So I felt comfortable with what was happening on the Democratic side, but on the Republican side, I thought maybe I could do.
More people should do that. That is a difference.
Put us in the position to have to do that.
I agree, and so
What's the solution?
Well,
Just general?
You can vote in the primaries on either side of the docket.
well, you can. Every time you go in the deal, they ask you, do you want to go to the R or D in March?
But you got to choose one though. You can't do both.
Yes, that's right.
But that my point is that I would like to, some Democrats I'd like to vote for, and some Republicans I'd like to have a sway.
Which one's?
Well, that's the issue because
Which Democrats?
because I split between Houston and Austin. So if you're in Houston, you may want to vote. If you want to have a say in the judiciary, you got to vote in the Democratic primary. If you want to have a say in the statewide, you really need to vote Republican. And it's flip-flopped in Austin.
And by the way, any Austin listeners out there, Judge Gary Gamble, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's actually probably not. It's
Whatever.
same thing. Yeah.
She's still Judge Gary Gamble, still fantastic.
So I think I probably did the same thing in that same year that you did.
I mean, it's tough because especially with judicial. So when I'm
Here's the wait, 14. So you were an off presidential election.
Well, there was Sharon McCauley and then David Dewhurst.
right,
Yeah, but it wasn't a presidential. Most people do it on the.
right. But I think it's hard because when I was at the first court of appeals and I would sit and listen to the judges in the submissions, right, and we're at a conference table and just fleshing out the cases. I never once felt like those judges were making their decision based on their party at all. Never.
They were just making it on the law,
Right.
which is how judges should.
And I agree because I clerked as well.
Yes.
And yeah, this is
Who'd you clerk for?
Judge Hudson Dunn.
Oh, okay, good.
Fabulous.
Yeah, she's fabulous. She was the first female judge, and certainly in Texas on the Court of Appeal.
She's incredible. Incredible.
What Court of Appeals first?
First.
And so it's hard because now all these elections, for the judicial spots everything is partisan. And so when you have these years of sweeps, you lose some good Republican judges and you lose some good Democrat judges. And that's unfortunate.
I'm trying to think of a good Republican judges we've lost.
Sure.
Great judge.
I actually won't argue with you on that.
I mean, she's a great judge. And so then you have to think, well, if you don't have a party affiliation attached to your name, and judicial races are low information races, how does a voter know? And I think with being attached to a party, at least they have some sense of, what do you think about the Seventh Amendment? What do you think about all these other issues? It'll give you a sense about not how they'll rule, but will the court have
Open-mindedness or not?
exactly?
Like how I worded that?
That's all you can.
One aisle, very open-minded. The other aisle,
Man, that
heritage, not hate.
we're focusing on you.
This is about you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Peter Diamond.
No, not yet.
That's his alter ego.
Okay, so the takeaway, and I want this, hopefully this will be a clip in Instagram. If you live in Harris County, you need to vote. And if you're voting in the Democratic primary, you need to vote for Nicole Perdue.
100%. If you don't, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
See how I looked into the camera? That's very
Known quantity. She's a known product.
yeah.
This is absolutely.
MVP for the 1-3.
If you don't,
You like it?
asteroids get.
And I feel like you did that. So what are these? What is it? Jim Perdue did that. MVP for the 1-3-3.
Okay.
I like that. It's kind of, it's kind of got that rap vibe.
Well, it's just, it's rare because, Nicole,
You get a tattoo.
you're overqualified for the job, but we're fortunate to have you as a candidate because you're in a unique position. Your children are all out. You've done very well, and it's really a public service. It's not a high-paying job.
Yeah, what? You're going into public service.
They're law firm jobs,
Right.
and it would be a service for you. So we're lucky to have you as a candidate. Probably the best candidate I've seen in a long time.
If you don't vote for Judge Perdue, you're a domestic terrorist. That's what Peter's trying to say. That's what Peter's saying. I didn't say that. That's what Peter's trying to say.
Danielle has trained me to talk better than that. So
Yeah, you sound like Forrest Gump, right?
That
She talk good.
yeah,
Real good. I talk good.
the thing I just said, I'd rehearse what I just said like 50 times before I said.
Original discussion where she didn't remember you. Can you go back? And you remember me because we were together at Gardier. Let's just.
I just didn't know he worked.
No,
What do you think he's doing mail?
Nicole made
I was a homeless guy.
So we had met when we were in high school at this up close, whatever DC thing, close up, and then I had friends at A&M, and I came up and she was friends with some of my mutual friends, and she's like, "You don't remember me?"
Oh, the tables have turned.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't remember you.
Like a UT frat guy, so I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm so cool."
Hey, all right. I get it.
She, as she will do to you when you're trying to argue some BS motion, she put me in my place very fast.
I don't do BS motions. I win them all.
Yeah. Okay. So I just
Did y'all ever date?
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No, Jen. Like I said,
You say that's her type? No.
no, Jen was
It's a 7-year-old boy's body. I'm just kidding, Pete. Totally kidding.
Jim was like my, I would
Good friend?
say idol, but
Idol?
he was the guy I looked up to.
A captain of the football team type guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, sorry, Todd. It's true. I did look up to him.
Who we all want to be.
Yeah,
Was just younger. Just look. No, get a sound young.
that's honest, and maybe Jim will listen to this.
I've actually never met Jim.
Really?
But I'm great friends with Don. And so I hear all the stories. Yeah, so I'm aware.
Yeah.
You really, maybe we can do it to a mandate.
I'm down. We can drink bourbon, watch The Sandlot. I'm in. I'll bring over an extra scooter. We can just scooter around the neighborhood and just talk
It'll cost you.
shop. That's fine.
It's got one.
Yes,
You got to be the dollar could do it later. He's doing well.
Congrats.
I did not. My partners were very fortunate to get a $1 billion verdict.
Jim got out of college in 3 years, and out of law school in only.
I
Yeah,
did.
you get 2.
He got out of law school in 2,
3 years in college.
3, and then 2.
Did law school in the normal amount of time.
Okay. Why did he rush? He was just that driven to succeed.
Why he did it, I didn't know him back then. I did it.
How'd y'all meet?
We were set up.
By?
Lavon, over to oh, Lavon. I was with him for a while in Dower.
He was like a staff attorney in the.
Yeah. Yeah, we were both unhappy with who we were dating and stuff.
Y'all were both dating people when LaVon came in? I love LaVon already.
Come have lunch at Tony Mandolas on West Bray. Oh, that's awesome.
R.I.P.
And we decided
Okay, so how quickly after that initial lunch did y'all become a couple?
Well, how quickly after did you break up with your?
Yeah, that's a good question. Small steps.
we discussed it after lunch, and we circled back 2 weeks later. We broke up. Yeah, we broke up with them within 2 weeks.
So we need to reopen Tony Mandola's on West Grand.
So good.
That was where I met the other Bill Ogden.
Well, he's running for railroad commissioner.
That's him. So he retired. It was so for the first like 4 years of my practice, we would get each other's emails, and one of them was, "Hey, come to this suite at the Rockets game," and because he was like a defense attorney and he represented the Chronicle on the other side of defamation. And I responded. It ended up being a girl that I went to college with. I was like, "Hey, wrong Bill Ogden." She was like, "Oh my God, you're still invited." So I went. He wasn't there. I was like, "Dang it!" And then randomly walked up to me on the patio at Tony Mandola's and was like, "You're Bill Ogden." I was like, "I am." He's like, "I'm Bill Ogden." I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you." And he looks identical to my grandpa.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like you.
I know. But he's tall, so we got that going for us. He's it. I get the Cherokee olive from my mother's side.
Yeah, just so y'all know, Danielle and Nicole, Bill usually wears a T-shirt that has like, it's a Christmas T-shirt that has like a fake hair on it.
And nipples that are pierced. Yeah. That was my Christmas sweater. It's like a bare-chested man with piercings.
For some odd reason, he brought his A game dress-wise. I don't know why.
I had court today. I only get dressed like this when they pay me. Shut up.
Where's time for you?
Yeah, there's burnt orange or kind of Tennessee.
I wrote it for Mikey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
He doesn't like me calling him that.
Well, Mookie is the
Is it?
nickname.
Thank God. I'm going to call him that from now on.
Yeah.
I've fanboyed on your son. He's like, what, 20?
He'll be 21 on February
Yeah.
18th.
He can't even buy a drink. And I'm over here like, he messaged me back on Facebook. I was so excited. Very polite. He's very, very polite.
Good kid. Okay, so what else do we need to know about this campaign or what we can do or what anyone can do to help?
How can we stop your opponent?
It doesn't need to be negative. It can just be positive.
Sure, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we stop my opponent?
Yep.
I think she's stopping herself.
There we go.
She's doing her
I heard it here first. Dirty Verdict exclusive. How do you stop somebody? You let them stop themselves.
doing it herself. Yeah.
When you're that good, that's all you have to do.
I'm not focusing on her.
There we go. You're focusing on the people and the justice. It's a lot of justice. It's like a CSI episode of Blacklight Justice.
All just
Right. And
How to get up there?
Tony, I want you to do about the bail issue.
that.
Yeah, and your official position on bail reform.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, the key thing is people have to vote. Because are there any big contested Democratic statewide races?
No. So
Railroad commissioner
Allred is going to be
Okay.
Joe P.
Kim Odd versus Sean Tier.
Okay.
That
Sean is raising a lot of money.
yeah, he's doing well. And but really, that's going to be the question: is how many people come out on the Democratic primary? Yeah. And that's a real issue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to vote.
Yep.
Go vote, however you feel. But if you do feel, you vote for this one.
Are there any deadlines on registering? I mean,
I think they passed. We're in November, right? Or no, first week of December? Oh, register to vote. I thought you meant register to run.
yeah.
I was sure you got one primary, Pete.
So yeah, sir.
I think so.
Sure, get the real dates there. When does early voting start?
February 20th.
And the March.
March 5th.
And we all know that the vast majority of folks vote early through the early primary.
That's right.
That's make the effort.
Not through the mail. Because we don't do that.
Yeah, you need to get out.
Mail anyway.
Get out and vote. Yeah.
Get out and vote.
As we've sat here, I looked at my phone. I've received several texts.
My husband outside.
Something about there's a dog with some ears on him that they.
I got to see this.
Yeah.
So, for some strange reason, because I think I've spent some time at the Perdue household and might have made some comments about a yappy dog that might have been mercy. I think there's been some discussions about Lily, who happens to be maybe the cutest dog in the whole wide world.
Not cuter than Big.
Yeah, I disagree.
Hey, you're-
Because Lily, not only, I mean, that's my office. That's Lily and the Lily pillow in my office.
Yes.
That's my lovely bride with Lily rather than, caring about me on a picture. And of course, that's Lily, the Easter Bunny. And he did. He spent a little bit of time to just try to do oppo research.
Read that part though.
He never say, and this is proved, God should never speak with him. Because he goes so clearly, unconditionally loves his, he would embarrass it for life on Facebook. Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, so
Pete, can I just say,
do we live this? Were we live streaming this? And
we're getting real-time information right now on my phone. So there's a young attorney named Will Hatchett who worked at us in law school. He just got his first 7-figure verdict involving Will Hatchett did.
Yeah, with him tomorrow.
And he against a biker, and he represented.
We feel himself tomorrow.
And at 8:23, it's 8:29. He said, "When are you, Kyle, and Peter having me on to talk about my reality show and my first $1 million settlement that I just got?"
well, works with Ben Roberts, right?
He does.
Yeah.
He worked at when he was in law school. He was one of my students when I was still teaching. Worked at my law firm, and unfortunately, we weren't hiring. Otherwise, I would have grabbed him. And so he ended up at Ben Roberts, who I love.
He was with Don Worley for a while.
He was with Don for a little while.
Ben for a while, yeah.
He's with Ben and Alan Kolodny and that whole crew.
Yeah.
And they're doing good things.
Awesome. Good for him. What court was he in? Do you know?
I don't. He just texted me and said, "Well, hey, when can I come on the show?"
Yeah, well, I have him on.
To hiring Don well.
I do.
40th birthday.
Adam Blake was one of my students. You're welcome. I reared him into this.
40th birthday. Don, they were partners at that point. Don stood up, gave a toast, and then he opened up a letter that said, from the Perdue law firm, "Dear Mr. Kidd, we're sorry that you are not qualified to work for this."
There we go. How did they end up getting together? Because they are stark.
Told him that he was not well. I worked so fun, and they ended up being partners. And the fact that Don still had the letter was fantastic. It's when Don was leaving Fulbright. Okay.
Oh no! I didn't know it was an authentic one. I thought it was a gag one in the present.
Oh no, it was a real denial letter.
He's got to frame that.
Yeah, I think it was for so. Yeah. So there.
If you're gonna mediate, and Pete's rubbed you the wrong way, which is 90% of y'all, Danielle is here. And if you're gonna vote, Nicole is here. And if you're gonna donate time to go legislate on behalf of TTLA, Todd's here.
Yes. And you are here for.
I'm the looks, Pete's the brains, Kyle's the talent.
And if you need PR help, Amanda Orr
Amanda Orr's here, yeah, of course.
is back on the
Amanda.
control.
On the ones and twos.
We're not sure if this actually was recorded or not.
Yeah, one man. If it wasn't, this is a great combo. No, I love it.
That was.
Well, so anyhow, I'll reiterate. If you are voting in the primary, Democratic primary, vote for Nicole. Very important.
Yep.
Particularly lawyers.
Free cell phones for each vote. You get a cell phone.
I mean, I guess I haven't known Nicole as long as you, Peter.
But pretty long.
Yeah, long.
All right.
Actually, she remembers you.
Yes.
All right. Pete's going to wrap us up with a little song. Go ahead, Pete. Take it away.
Thanks for joining us. Like or subscribe to our YouTube.
Very Neil Diamond, Peter.
Snapchat. Do we have Snapchat?
No, what?
Good.
Ew, what? Why would you want to send a message that's going to delete? Unless it's inappropriate. We have a TikTok. We've got Instagram, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Commit domestic violence on that like and subscribe button.
Yeah.
I think that's what the kids say.
Don't. Okay, say that again.
Cut that again.
Say that. Oh.
Hit that like and subscribe button on Apple, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
All right. Thank you very much.
Nailed it.
Good night.
Did.
We'll cut.